Good morning, everybody. Welcome to London Station. Back for some more Astroprisma today. As we do on Saturday mornings, it's our thing. And every Saturday morning, I feel like I haven't done it in a month, even though it's been every single week. Just rusty. I don't know how you get rusty at something you do every week, over and over and over again, but it happens. How's everybody doing? Hope you're doing well. I see we have some new YouTube subscribers, so welcome in. KC Roberts, good to see you. Always good to see you. Been doing my own little thing over here. Some people didn't know, and that's okay. But now they know. Now they're here. Thank you. I tried the under eyelid again, and honestly, I was very nervous and hesitant once more that it was too much, but I don't know. I don't know. I know that when I'm actually playing the game, I'm really tiny and in the bottom corner, so it's not a big deal. That's my saving grace. Oh, you know what I didn't get ready today? Prime example of not being prepared. Yes, I did not set up the music. Did not set it up. But that's why we have this little intro talking time. My voice sounds a little rough, but I think my lungs have actually finally cleared up. I think I'm on the upward. I'm definitely on the upward. It's just like that last little bit. So actually, yeah, I can kind of tell I'm still a little out of breath, but it's so much better than it was. Which means I'm healthier streaming now than I have been since week 1. Because I've literally been sick for the last 2 months of streaming, which is wild. It's April, believe it or not. And I've almost been doing this for 2 straight months. Yeah, I don't know why. I feel like I talked too soon because now all of a sudden it's like not coming through for me. And of course I'm going to sing a song. And of course it's a belter. It's probably one I should do standing up. Do I want to stand up? That takes so much setup. I'll just try and have good posture. I'll do it that way. If you are new to the channel, this is London Station. I'm London, I guess, and I haven't really practiced like intro stuff. I do an intro for the London Hour because it's cute and fun and it's great, but like I don't think I ever explained like who I am to people. I've never really done that. So I'm London, and as far as I know, I'm a trans creator. That's recent development. And we do all sorts of things here. We do actual plays of solo TTRPGs, some video games here and there, a little bit of Minecraft, No Man's Sky. We started playing Expedition 33 on Wednesday. I'm going to do that every other Wednesday. And that's really got its hooks into me. And now I'm kind of annoyed that I have to wait, but that's okay. Because I did fix why it was crashing last time. We also look at tabletop role-playing game content and concepts. We have a conceptual series called Table Topics, which kind of often falls on Sunday mornings because it just does. And if I get a good idea today, we'll do that again tomorrow. I tend to stream Saturday mornings, Sunday mornings, Wednesday evenings, and then a little bit of other things here and there, although my schedule is going to be a little tighter going forward, so we'll see how that goes. What else do we do here? We love each other, that's for sure. We have a Patreon and a Discord, and you get in there for a little small amount of money. For the $3 tier, which gets you pretty much everything that you could want. There's some bonuses for higher tier stuff, but the core experience is $3. And a little secret, the $1 tier is broken. It's not supposed to give you as much as it does, but it does, and I haven't fixed it because whatever. Tips are always appreciated. We got our little boop London Station support right there. If I can make $5 to $10 a stream, that's really cool. That's really neat. But y'all love and support is so much more important to me than any dollars you can throw my way. And importantly, this probably throws a lot of people off if you're new, I sing to start the streams off whenever I can. I've been doing this for 2 gay months. As a contrast to what did I say that made you say this? Did I say 2 whole months? We need to nerf the $1 tier. The $1 tier was supposed to give you access to a single channel. And I had it all set up and tested, But like, I built this stuff in July of last year, and I didn't launch it until February. And so by the time I launched it, I was like, I think I had made some changes, and they didn't carry over. And I don't know, and I haven't bothered to fix it because we only have one. We only have one person at that Patreon tier, so they're getting a free ride. They're getting $2 extra value for nothing. So that's fun. All right, let's see how this is going to go. This used to be my go-to karaoke song, and then I practiced it just 5 minutes ago because I was like, I didn't prepare a song. And I'm like, I haven't sang this in so long that I feel like I'm going to mess it up, which is crazy because I know this song inside and out. Also, before I do that, do I have this set up? Of course I don't. I should get everything ready before I do that, and then we'll get into Astroprisma, and then we'll talk about kissing in space. Astroprisma is a science fiction romance game. It's absolutely not. It is in my hands, apparently, but no, it's not actually a science fiction romance game. Where is the playlist that I made for this so that it would be easier next time I did it? Ah, here it is. It's called Astroprisma Playlist. Okay, just like that. That's easy. Gonna do great. Well, like I usually say, I do all right. I usually come out the other side of singing and say, I can do better. I have done better. But we endeavor, and that's the point. So, this is Learn to Fly by Foo Fighters, a song about flying, which is kind of Astroprisma themed. Run and tell all of the angels, this could take all night. Think I need a devil to help me get things right. Hook me up a new revolution, 'cause this one is a lie. We sat around laughing and watched the last one die. Now I'm looking to the sky to save me, looking for a sign of life. Looking for something to help me burn out bright. And I'm looking for a complication. Looking 'cause I'm tired of lying. Make my way back home when I learn to fly. Think I'm done nursing patience. It can wait one night. Give it all away if you give me one last try. And we'll live happily ever trapped if you just save my life. Run and tell the angels that everything's alright. I'm looking to the sky to save me, looking for a sign of life. Looking for something to help me burn out bright. And I'm looking for a complication. Looking 'cause I'm tired of trying. Make my way back home when I learn to fly. Make my way back home when I learn to fly. Along with me, I can't quite make it alone. Try to make this life my own. Fly along with me, I can't quite make it alone. Try to make this life my own. I'm looking to the sky to save me, looking for a sign of life. Looking for something to help me burn out bright. And I'm looking for a complication. Looking 'cause I'm tired of trying. Make my way back home when I learn to fly. Whew. Okay. Good enough. Oh, good enough. Yeah, those lyrics actually slap for this game. I didn't really realize. That's a perfect song for this game. Okay, it's done. It's resolved. We did it. Now we're into Space Game. I'm going to do a very brief overall campaign overview because for the first time in forever, apparently I'm not done singing. we actually don't have a lingering scene to resolve. There have been a number of times we've streamed Astroprisma and we've come out the other side and had something to resolve because, you know, at the end of 2-3 hours of streaming, maybe I was like not in the space to write that scene, and so we skipped it. And then we would start the next session with me being like, okay, let's catch up, let's write the scene. We'd go straight into the scene. This time we actually are all resolved up to present time. So I'm going to do a larger review. It's good for all of us to know anyway. So I know I got the song started up again. But we're going to jump out of there and go over here. And then we're going to hit play on this. And then we're going to listen to the sci-fi music. As always, let me know how levels are. I try to keep things the same, but you never know. So here we are. We've got our character sheet stuff, which I'm not even looking at right now. Give me a second. There it is. Character sheet here. And we probably shouldn't have 20 energy. Actually, we probably should have 20 energy because that last fight we didn't we didn't use any energy. We just immediately tried to run away and succeeded, and we're still alive, which is good. And then we've got our star map on the right-hand side. Again, if you're just joining or coming over here fresh, I don't want you to be missing out. This will be a complete series in not too long, so it'll be easy to catch up on everything. But this is a game where you start out at the star, you explore around the different hexes. There are factions and prompts that you encounter through the game rulebook, and I don't have that open either. Let's do that. There we go. Put that over. Excuse me, I said put that. Oh, let me grab it. There it is. Thank you. Put that over here. And what's happening? There we go. Okay, so recap. So we started out here in the star. We flew around down to here. We found a spaceship run by the Warg. Are they the Syndicate or is it Warg? I don't remember. Are they a Syndicate? This is the important stuff. I'm going to look it up. Their ship was putting out a distress signal because they had unknowingly taken on a alien egg that hatched and was slaughtering them all. And we just scooted right on out of space there. That was a moment of us being like, that's outside our pay grade. Literally, it would have killed us and ended the campaign in the first hex. So we then explored around, we explored some planets. We found a combat drone here on Tartesso, which was a city planet. Everything is kind of post-apocalyptic in Astroprisma. So it's the after collapse of, you know, everything. We came down here to find the Endeavor. The Endeavor wanted some help because they were going to go raid a Medusa base. Medusa is another faction. They're kind of the well, they're not necessarily cyber criminals. To us, they are. The cyber criminal, hacker, kind of cyberspace type people. And the prompts and the Oracle helped us resolve that. This was them fighting back against a propaganda machine. So we swung around a little bit. We found a couple settlements. At the time, we were not in trouble with ISF, the Intersolar Federation. They're kind of the space police and trade federation kind of a organization. At the time, we were not in trouble with them, so I changed the color of the settlement to gray to indicate that we're not welcome there because of our faction totals. You can see the faction totals on the character sheet right here underneath where it says hyperdrive. That's our current status with everybody. Not really big numbers in any direction for any particular group. We came around, we found the ship, the Sisterhood. We helped them out. They were another Warg ship, and aboard the Sisterhood was a engineer named Pearl. And we rolled up her traits and things of that sort randomly. And so I think actually the prompt called her a scientist, or we determined that because we rolled up a lab coat for her. Anyway, we decided, decided that maybe Pearl would be a love interest for our character Cadence. And so that was something that was kind of like in the back burner. The game gives you a chance to generate wants and needs and desires for your NPCs. And so we generated that she wanted a data shard. We also, I don't remember how or why, we came up with some story about her. Oh, it was the trait. She got the trait of like vengeance. And we were like, what's that about? And so there was this kind of whole little storyline. We do love Pearl. There's a whole little storyline of us trying to figure out like what she's so mad about and having it be like it's kind of a turnoff. So we kind of want to fix that to see what else is going on there, you know? And over time, that story developed, but that's all we knew at this time. We flew around a bunch more. Let's see, I think we hit this solar storm at some point. That was not great. We came back down here. We found this planet Icarus. Actually, did we do a mission here? We did, but that came later. No, it wasn't later. This was our initiation mission to Warg. So when you get to 2 faction with any faction, you can do an initiation kind of mission, and that is what formally recognizes you as part of the faction if you succeed. And so we came down here, we fought some soldiers, and we got enlisted in Warg. At that point, the game says if you have not already found your faction's settlement, place it on the map at the lowest numbered hex. For us, that was hex number 1 right here, Gemini Field, which we had not yet explored. So we put that on the map, and then our next stream, we spent time trying to get there. So we swung out around here. Yeah, I think we went this way, and then we went here. We did a little bit of exploring. There's actually quite a few things left for us to explore here if we want to come back, which might give us some more resources. We came up here, found an abandoned super soldier project sticking out of an asteroid called the Atlas Project, and we got ourselves hooked up with some titanium bones, which are very mechanically handy. And so that was cool. We came up here. We found the Bulldozer, which is a Corsair ship. Corsair are like your space pirate guys. And this particular ship in this particular prompt is basically that it's Fight Club. It's Fight Club in space. They have these cage matches essentially on this giant ship. And so we participated in that. We fought and won 2 out of the 3 fights. The guy that we lost the second fight to, haughty transmask named Flare, with beautiful art that was done by Alejandra after the fact. You'll see that on the thumbnail for episode 5, if you want to look at that art. So that was a fun, interesting conversation. We'll probably run into Flare again because we have unfinished business there. And we also met Lavender. And Lavender at the time was the Corsair crime boss of this particular space. And she's a little intense. She's a little intense. She gave us a kiss on the cheek as a parting goodbye as a power move, and that comes up later. So we resolved that, got to Gemini Field, took a mission. That mission sent us back down here to Lagoon. We executed that mission. Only problem was the pilot we brought along with us there was a ship here on this moon, Omicron Omen. We brought a pilot with us so that he could take this ship back for Warg. We're like, hey, let's help you out. We found this abandoned ship. It's in great condition, just the crew died. So, let's come pick it up. Well, he was with us when we did this mission on Lagoon, and he double-fisted grenades and tink and boom and killed these guys before we even had a chance to react. And up to that point, Cadence has been using mind hacks for things. And so the way I've been flavoring that is if she defeats an enemy with a mind hack, I basically get to choose as the player if she kills them or not. And generally, we're opting to not kill. Cadence has a challenge and an issue with violence. It's almost like she saw some streamer talk about violence in games or something like that. But so she really struggled with that and had a little bit of a crisis of faith. And we came back up here to Gemini Field. There was also this interchange here with this, I forget her name. I want to say Catherine, but it's not Catherine. She wanted to trade ships with us because she had to do an undercover mission for Warg, and we were like, no, let's have you just follow us here. You trade ships with this guy. He'll take your ship. We'll keep our ship. Everybody will be happy, and we win. So we came back here. Then what happened? Well, we were just struggling, stressed out. The very next immediate place we go to is a grenade manufacturing spaceship, which was not what we needed at that time and place for the mental state that Cadence was in. So she bounced out of there ASAP. She was like, I don't feel well, and also I can't help with explosives. Not true, but she lied to get out of it. So we keep not getting these bonuses from things. She has a mini London talking to her at all times. Don't we all? Don't we all? We came down to Pisces Mother, which is a Corsair settlement. Now, recall that we just ran into both Flare and Lavender on the Bulldozer, the pit fighting ship. And so we rolled and asked the Oracle, hey, is Flare here? It said no. We said, is Lavender here? It said no, but. And so I think we rolled a keyword or something. We must have that give me direction on what happened there. And so the but we reasoned was that, no, she's not here, but she left us a message. And then I wrote this scene where Cadence goes to retrieve this message. And the message courier guy, whatever, doesn't matter, was like, hey, you should probably open that in private because this is super encrypted. And I don't know what it is, but keep your nose clean. And so Cadence goes to open it, and she finds out, or the guy tells her that it's locked with her biometrics. And she's like, the fuck it is? What do you mean it's locked with my biometrics? And then she realizes when she opens it up, sees it's from Lavender, that the kiss that she planted on her cheek on the bulldozer pit fighting ship, she actually had taken biometric data from her with that kiss, which was a huge invasion of privacy and boundaries and everything, everything to go with it. But Lavender is this figure where she's like, everybody's just trying to play everybody against each other. And one day you'll realize that you're just a pawn in somebody else's game. And so really the only best way to live in these stars is to be out for yourself. And if you want to affiliate with Corsair, yeah, sure. But they're a loose like federation of criminals and whatnot. So Cadence did not react to that well. That she's basically being spied on by Lavender. And she freaked out again and went up here just in time to run into an ISF research facility, which gave her the opportunity to learn a little something about a city called Halo. Gotta spit on your Amazon parcel to open it. This is the future. There's 20% more spit. That brings us back here to Icarus. Halo is a city we discovered, a dead city that had been abandoned by ISF. And the official story is ISF was like, listen, this city's not, we can't sustain this place. We can't help ship to this place. It's not on local trade routes. It's not a good fit. We can't make it work. Everybody get out if you can. And people died. What we found out at this research facility very recently, right up here, is we asked the Oracle, did ISF do that on purpose in order to destroy the city? And the official line is just a bunch of bullshit they're feeding people. And the answer was yes. And then we asked it again, something else. And the answer implied to us that not only did they do this on purpose, they are still doing it to different places around. They are being very mercenary with who lives and who dies. And they're kind of just like, well, it's for the greater good, so whatever. That ties in to Pearl, who was down here on the Sisterhood, the engineer. She had a belief that that's what had happened here, and she couldn't prove it. She could never prove it. And now we could. So we flew straight back down to this sector, told her the news, and we also provided her a data shard, which gave us mechanically the 3 affinity we needed to have Pearl join our crew. So Pearl is our first crewmate. ISF is, in fact, turning the space frogs gay. I don't know. Don't know what to say about that, Alejandra. Do you have a problem with that? Maybe that's the one good thing I do. So we pick up Pearl. And there's some tension there, because we said so. We fly back up here to Ursa Dome. That got us to the end of episode 5. Episode 6 was last week, and it was intense. We flew back up through here, through Tartessa. We came to Echo. Flew K back up to Pearl. We came here to Echo, which was a gas planet, and it had a fuel station orbiting around. So we had this cute little scene where Pearl bought some like fuzzy dice, and I wrote it up where they're like, they don't know what these are or what they mean, but somehow fuzzy dice survived at the truck stop of space stations out there. So they have a little fuzzy dice on their console, a light pink set of fuzzy dice. Came over here, we found a deep space time anomaly that threatened to harm our ship, but Pearl handled it, and Cadence definitely kept her cool, if you remember. She was very chill and very level-headed the whole time, and that's what's important. Absolutely. Came up here and got attacked by a ship who thought we were ISF, which is the ultimate irony because we hate ISF. ISF have cast themselves as the baddies of this playthrough very clearly. So they attacked us without warning. We didn't even get a chance to explain, and they had the most annoying ship in the game, and so we blew the shit out of it and moved on with our lives. But I will not stop this bit. Good. Keep it up. But now Cadence says, she's upset. She's like, I don't want to be out here hurting people. I'm understanding now that, like, violence might be the only language some people understand, is kind of where she's getting to. But she's just upset. She's like, I didn't have to destroy this ship and kill this crew, but they came at us and didn't even give us a chance for diplomacy or to understand. So we blew them up. Came over here to Vortex. It's another Ecumenopolis planet, which is the giant city, like, think Coruscant. And we're walking the streets, and we roll, and we get a faction encounter, and it's ISF. And they are looking around, deciding whether or not to rebuild this city as a habitable place. Which you might think, would be problematic for someone like Pearl, who just lost a bunch of her family in the city of Halo down here because ISF decided that it was not worth keeping alive. So Pearl hauled off and started a fight. And that fight went really badly, really fast, and we had to run away. So we didn't actually write the scene for the fight itself. We did an after recap where Cadence is basically checking on Pearl, and she's like, how many fingers am I holding up? And Pearl's just like not having it. And Cadence is like, listen to me, shut the fuck up and answer my questions. I'm trying to figure out if you're okay or not. Pearl got like a mind hack in this fight, so they're checking it out. Anyway, ended up in like a screaming match about beliefs and what it means that they're even out here fighting. What are they fighting for and all this stuff. And Cadence is basically like, listen, bitch, I don't want to lose you. And Pearl's like, there's other mechanics out there. And Cadence is like, that's not what I mean, and you know it. And then they make out. That's the short version. My film light turned on. Things are falling. And you're all caught up with Astroprisma. That's the entire campaign so far in a nice little 20-minute recap. And we have these 12 hexes left to explore. We need to get our faction with Warg up to 10 and do our final mission, and that'll close out this campaign and this playthrough. Screams and kisses. That should have been the episode title. Regarding the episode title, Cadence is in a camo jacket. This is her. This is a little art of her on the left, also done by the wonderful Alejandra. And Pearl is a scientist in a lab coat, and Owo is our combat drone, and he's down here. And when we get into a fight sometimes, he comes up here, and he dances around. So there you have it. There you have it. And it's time to take the Slipshot, our spaceship, from here to here. We are terrified after that last fight. We, chat, me, Cadence, Pearl, we're all terrified right now. We're okay. We have enough health. We have enough fuel on the ship. The ship hull is doing fine. But we've got 2 hexes to get through before we get back to Gemini Field, where we can, make some decisions about what kind of equipment we carry. And it's a little intense. We had a pretty raw experience last time, and so that's how it goes. All right, we're gonna roll our 5d6, and we're gonna see what we encounter today. I don't remember what a 4 is off the top of my head, but it might be a hostile encounter. Actually, I think it's neutral. I think 3 is hostile. Okay, let me pull up the PDF. And that. Okay. We need to go to exploration. We're in the inner ring. We got a 4, which is a neutral encounter. And then we got a 6, which is a supernatural event. That sounds fun. And then we got another 6. All right, let's see what we got. A strange electromagnetic field is detected by your navigation systems. Your ship is already too far inside the field to be able to escape its pull. Yikes. With no other option left, you go full thrust into its epicenter. Your ship is transported to any hex of your choice. Sometimes the dice be kind. Sometimes they be kind. Pearl is so fragile, oh my god. We like fragile Pearl. We will take care of Pearl. We're okay with that. Unless you mean emotionally fragile, in which case, same. Okay, this hex, this was a gimme. This was the game saying, I'm sorry, I almost killed your new girlfriend, and here, now you can freely teleport wherever you want. What do I want to use for this? Let's get something from the second page, maybe. Something that says I'm going to teleport you anywhere you want. Let's grab the blue one. I don't know. It'll be fine. There we go. And we're going to call this, what are we going to call this? I don't know. I just closed the PDF. Supernatural event. Electromagnetic field. That's what we'll call it. I did have this come up in a different playthrough once, and so I had to ask myself the question, do I want to be able to use this to teleport freely anywhere, anytime? And my thought on that is no. That's nonsense. That would be way too powerful. I also wish I had... I'm just going to call this electro field. wish I had done a little bit better setting up of this whole star map. But I don't know if you can tell, it's a lot easier to read now because I put drop shadow on everything. Chat delay is killing all your bits. Oh no! And you pair that with my inability to like remember what I said a minute ago, and we're just destined to fail. We're a tragic duo right now. Blue is the color of teleportation for sure. Well, with that said, now we get to choose where we want to teleport. And I don't know. Guys, I don't know. Oh God. No. No. Alejandra, no, I'm going to time you out. You're timed out. Just roll. Just roll and see if you live. Oh my God. Now, okay. If we felt real good about ourselves, we could teleport over to here, and then we could start cleaning up these hexes. Maybe I don't know. We could like swing through the wow, I can't word. Swing through the outer ring and clean those up. But you know what? You know we're gonna teleport straight to Gemini Field because we're scared. Or do we just teleport here and just take our chances again? No, we do not. No, we do not. We have a love interest on board now, and we're gonna act like it. I love this image. I shouldn't, but I do. I love this image. Oh my God, we're safe, guys. That was easy. That was easy peasy. All right, let's log it in the journal. I'm trying to think what kind of read I have on you as a GM to know if I would be surprised or not. I don't know that I'd be, well, you did say how ruthless, so I might not be surprised that you're somewhat ruthless. I may be very surprised by how ruthless. You're right. You're very right. Okay, what did we even roll? We rolled a neutral, and we got a 6 and a 6. That's what you need to draw. You need to make that bumper sticker. Precious lesbian lover on board. She has a temper. Like a little dog that's a little too angry for how big it is, you know? That's Pearl. So there's not really a scene right here, but whatever, I'll put the sign up anyway. Oh, who am I kidding? I'm writing a full scene. I got love interests on the same ship together. You know I'm writing a scene. All right, I'll be back in a minute. All right, we're back. How's the revolution going? What have you gotten up to? Class solidarity with yourself. Very good. Revolutionary vanguardism. I'm going to have to research that before I comment. Oh, my God. Oh, your voices have formed a commune and a polycule, of course. Whoa, they did not include you. Okay. You're on a tear today. You're on a tear today. You're going to like this scene, though. I can tell you that much. Is it weird? I ask. I'm self-conscious ever since Pearl almost died, and my response was to make out with her. Is what weird? She asks, tinkering with something on the engines. I should probably know what it is, all things considered. What is that? I ask. She raises an eyebrow at me. Calibrator? She leads. When I give no sign of recognition, she sighs and continues. It's the component that makes the nav and the engines see the same thing. Without it, you end up flying into asteroids and shit. Might not affect us now, but if we ever get a warp drive, it'll... So it's not weird, though? I clarify. Pearl sets the gizmo down and wipes her hands on her coat. Cadence, she says and steps over, putting her arms around my waist. Have a little confidence, okay? I don't get on every pretty girl's ship just because they ask. But they do ask, I say, with a mix of playfulness and actual insecurity. Pearl smiles. I'm going to have a lot of work to do with you, aren't I? She says, and gives me a quick kiss on the lips. A kiss that's interrupted by a blaring from the cockpit. More later, she says. You have a spaceship to go and fly, she adds, and gives me a swat on my ass to get me in gear. Promises, I say, and go to see to the trouble. Electromagnetic storms really know how to ruin a moment. And then we get teleported across space. And time. And love. And we're at Gemini Field. Safe at Gemini Field. How do I do this normally? When's the last time we were even here? God. We haven't been here for 20 weeks? Oh, are they cute? Good. I'm glad. I try to make, you know, my relationships come off the page and be cute and stuff, but I appreciate the reinforcement. Definitely got the sense that Cadence is, like, super insecure, though. Like, she kind of has been this whole playthrough, right? Like... Safe is the operating word. Yeah. We're here safely with, like, no money to make us any safer. So now we get to figure out what on earth we're going to do about that. We have 38 serum, which is nothing. And we need to figure out, honestly, what we want these gals to be carrying. We both have 1 vigor, which means grenades are on the table for both of us. We need some better armor, honestly. Do you know who sells armor, Alejandra? Do you remember? It's ISF. So the only way for us to get armor is to fly back across the entire system to down here, Leo Oath, go pay off our negative reputation with ISF, and buy some armor, unless we find it. Sucks. Cadence is the most secure, non-doubtful person in this universe. I doubt that doubt. There's a lot of doubt. So what the hell are we going to do? Let's look at what we have now and see if we even think it's worth keeping. The power gen removes silence, which we want to keep. Burn patch. I mean... I don't know. The thing with Pearl is, okay, she's got a gamma gun, D8 plus tech. Fine, whatever. So she's doing D8 plus 3. That's 4 for the floor, 11 for the ceiling. That's fine damage. But she needs to have a good, reliable side action. And her particular abilities are all about ship combat. So they don't help us in actual combat. And we ran into that last time. She didn't have a good side action. So making sure she's holding health packs is a good idea. Having her hold energy packs would be a good idea. So maybe let's start by moving the shield stem over here. I don't even remember what that does. But let's put some energy cells back. You know what? Let's give her all of the energy cells. Because honestly, no offense, Pearl, like my turns are way more valuable than yours. And if you're going to feed me energy, that's perfectly fine. Why is this not working? Let's do it this way then. There we go. get rid of those out of our inventory. We both are carrying a health pack now. I'd love for us both to be carrying 2. You have to have the subscription for the armor warmers. Listen. She can top when we're back on the ship, okay? But in the battlefield, it's Cadence time. I mean, that was her only turn ever so far. So yeah, we still love Pearl. She's got the fire in her, and you know that's hot. But you know, it just needs to be directed. All right, what the hell does this shield stem do? Remove shock. I don't care about that. Not enough right now to keep it. I'd rather have the money. So we're gonna sell. Oh my god, we're gonna sell it for 10 serum. Good god. Shock will take our armor away, and we only have 1 armor anyway. So, all right. Let's check these flash rounds. I don't even know where I got those from. All enemies are stunned for tech turns. That's not bad. EMP grenade, all enemies are silenced for tech turns. I'm selling these. And I'm giving the flash rounds to Pearl. I'm going to add what they do, so I have to stop, so I don't have to keep looking it up. Do I not have text wrapping going on here? What's going on? Come on, sheet. There we go. The Vanguardists. Again, I'm gonna have to. You're gonna send me out to research. Revolutionary Vanguardism, is that the phrase you used? Are you gonna get me in trouble, Alejandra, with my search history? You're gonna come pick me up. I just thought of a new use for the 0G liquor. If a character can use 0G liquor on another character, that's actually really helpful. Okay, we gotta sell our carbon dagger. We don't need that. I think that was 25, so that's gonna give us 12.5, so we'll go straight up to 80. God, we're so poor. Can I sell hacks? I thought there was something about you can only sell them at Medusa settlements, and they don't like us either. Where is the value of these things? Okay, you buy them at Medusa settlements for 150, which means they're worth 75. Oh, you know what though? I seem to remember. Oh, so the chores. Okay, the chores will come after you explore Revolutionary Vanguardism with me. Strand of revolutionary politics that leads a small group of people. The most studied should lead the revolution and make decisions because they're so smart. Okay, why would they get you? You should be one of them, leading them, right? What was I gonna look up? There was a rule that I did wrong my first several playthroughs of this, and I want to do it right. Yeah, I can't sell my hacks. I can only sell it at a Medusa settlement, which I'd have to go spend 75 serum to even get in here to Leo Titan, and then I'd be able to sell the hack for 75. So it's a wash. So that option is dead to me. You know, I might be over-equipped with weapons, to be honest. Because I'm so frequently doing hacks for damage. Do I sell the gravity rifle? Do I do it? I do have, though, a hyperdrive, which means I could take a gravity rifle shot and do max damage with it, which could be very clutch at the right moment, so I may not want to sell that. You guys want me to sell OO? I know you don't. The question now becomes, what do we actually want to buy? And I'm honestly, we need to buy more health packs. That's like the number one thing, because we can't buy armor. And 20 apiece, and I only want 2. Let's just do it. We know that that's going to be one of the most important things we can carry. So now we're both carrying 2 of them. We got 4 energy cells. We're fine on energy cells. The flash rounds are fine. Is there a better grenade, though? I mean, actual frag grenades would be okay. I'm not, sorry. You have chores to do. I will leave you to it. I won't threaten to sell. Won't threaten to sell OWO. Well, how much do these cost? 20 apiece. So I could pick up 2 frag grenades. I mean, at this point, would I rather just have Pearl have frag grenades instead of these flash rounds? Like, stunned is great if it works, but it's still, even if you apply the condition to them. So you have to beat them on a vigor check to even apply it. Then they're going to be stunned for tech turns, which is 3, which is not bad. And then they have a 1 in 6 chance of actually being stunned. So if there's 2 enemies, you stun them both. You got 3 rounds. You're going to have 6 die rolls. And across 3 rounds, you're going to make them lose 1 turn. I don't think that's worth it when you could just literally throw frag grenades at them. But I can't really justify Cadence buying frag grenades narratively right now. Can't justify it. Unless, I mean, okay, we should actually consider this. Unless that, since she discovered what ISF has been up to, maybe now she's like, okay, sometimes a motherfucker needs to eat a grenade. The most important thing is our ability to heal, and I think we've covered that. I think we might just need to call it. We've got 40 serum in the bank. We're going to need it for other things later. Actually, we got to decrement our fuel 1 more. We're down to 14, because fueling up is expensive too. So really what we've done here is we've just bolstered our healing ability, which is important. I don't mean to downplay that at all. We need some freaking money. We might actually, this might be the time for us to come and explore down here. Reason being is that we have safe travel to and from that planet because we've been through these hexes, so that we won't be hitting any surprises. The encounters themselves will be just as dangerous as rolling in any particular hex, but if we can get some money out of there, get some loot, that could be really beneficial to us. Ah! And a mission. We need to pick up a mission from Warg here, now. That's why we came here. So, the mission might actually dictate to us what we should do next. So that's probably what we should do. Picture me typing this with wet hands from washing dishes. Trauma-ridden people often hide their trauma by doing it to others as a way to show they're not trauma-ridden, actually. Fair. Sad. Tragic. Thanks for that. Thanks. I love it. Oh, my back was all messed up today. Oh, I forgot to mention. Well, you can't really see it on this camera. Should I go back to the main camera? No, it'll mess up the music. But I got access to some of my books back, so my bookshelf is now fuller, and I got my other sets of dice too. This is like blues and yellows and kind of spacey, kind of like them. And then this was my first ever dice set. I got this in the like Chessex pound of dice thing, the very first dice I ever bought. They give you 1 full set, and then the rest were all like the misprints and everything like that. From PaizoCon 2010. The first dice I ever bought. I got to go for free because I had been an intern in the previous year. Okay, distractions aside. We got to pick up a mission. And the nice thing about picking up a mission is that we might have some insight into what we're going to fight, which means we can do a combat sim, which means we can up our vigor, which means maybe then we buy some grenades, because then we know we're going to be buffed. with tossing grenades. So let's do that. All right, let me go show you guys the mission page. Because we are affiliated with WARG, we can now generate these revolt missions. Don't put the phone somewhere secure and stop typing until you're done. I'll time you out again. You'll have to scream from behind the timeout chains. So we are going to randomly generate a mission. You roll 4d10. I tried to do this the other way last time and I screwed it up. So we're going to roll all 4d10 and you're going to get an objective, a location, a complication, and a reward. And so these are kind of bespoke missions that you then go on, and they might tell us where to go or what to do rather than just free exploration. So let's do that now. And I should probably be prepared to write these numbers down somewhere so I don't forget them. I'll write them in chat. 1, 9. Again, I love these dice, but they're so not readable. 9. And 10. I don't have a sense either about these missions on, like, with the explorations, when you get to explorations on planets and stuff like that, a 6 is bad news. That's like a boss fight. I don't know if we just, I don't know what we got here. So, you've got to be kidding me. RPGs are comedy. RPGs are comedy. Oh, wait. We're okay. I was looking at the wrong section. Because I was thinking I had to resolve the 1 here, and it was said your starship is chased by an ISF soldier patrol piloting an Orion Moth, which is the goddamn spaceship we just blew up from those other guys. But that's not what happens. Actually, the 1 goes here. Spread sympathy for the cause among locals. Hang propaganda posters and install a radio antenna for WARG broadcasts. Interesting. We're okay. I was reading the wrong table, and I thought we had to fight another Orion Moth crewed by ISF soldiers. Which, I mean, we wouldn't have had any angst about that. We would have just blown them the fuck up. But so what next? 9. On a frost moon, which I think the moon we were going to go to is a frost moon. And complication. The cockpit is covered in dust. You try to perform an emergency landing. Roll grace check. Succeed or fail. So we can survive that easy enough. And then the reward is particle cannons. All right. So basically this mission has no danger, and we're going to pick up... Do we already have particle cannons? Hold on. Oh, I love these things. These are so good. Deal 3 damage the next time you attack with this weapon. It gains +1 extra damage. So the first time you use them, they do 3, then 4, then 5, then 6. They are a great weapon. And I'm not showing you the PDF. Sorry, here it is. Particle cannons, right there. But at minimum, we can sell them. We can sell them for... not that much, honestly. The amount of fuel we're going to take to get out to this frost moon is going to be something. All right, well... I gotta start documenting this stuff somewhere. Hold on. And then we gotta figure out if Beta Shield is a frost moon. I think it is. We haven't been there in forever. I wonder if I can Control F this. It is a frost moon. Hot dang. So the idea here is we need to hit the right buttons. We need to install a radio antenna on Beta Shield. We're going to resolve our grace check now because then we'll write up what happens. We'll deduct all of our fuel, and then we'll move on with our lives. Okay, cockpit is covered in dust. Perform an emergency landing. So that's going to be grace check. And we fail. So we lose 6 hull and 4 health. Regrettable. But we're not going to run into any spaceship encounters before we get back to the settlement, so that's going to be fine. That's a bummer. That is a bummer. While we're at it, let's get our... I'm going to resolve all of this and then worry about writing it. Basically, when you just make a grace check, it's just, you know, whatever character could make it. But no, I think her grace stat's worse than ours. Yeah, we actually have the better grace stat to pilot the ship. So I rolled a 4 plus 1, got 5, and then the challenge itself was an 8. Because they're contested rolls. That's just how it be. And we have a ridiculous amount of weapons on this thing now. Which means we should probably sell some, but... Oh, you know what, though? I don't think you can put them on until you're at a settlement. But that's fine. We're resolving everything anyway. Alright, well, these have got to go here, clearly. Good God. This thing is turning into an absolute gunship. Let's not update it until we know if we're going to keep it or not. But in case we do, there it is. Alright. So, we actually are going to fly. Oh man, our fuel is going to be a problem. What is our fuel now? 14? So we're going to go 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. Whatever, we'll just do it now. Account for all that fuel. And while we're there, we're also going to explore Beta Shield. We can come back another day for Lagoon. Alright, paperwork. So, cycle 46, 7, 8, 9. And then we're going to have 50, 51, 52. And we'll be back at Warg again. Google Sheets is going to be like that, huh? So, we're going to go all in on this. And do all of the exploration first. Okay, so we're going to need 2d6 to see what happens on this moon. Glad the dice fell in that order and not the other one. That was almost bad. So let's go check out what happens on the moon. Frost Moon's landing site. Old military base hidden in the mountainside. Cool. These large metal doors are stuck. Good place to put a radio antenna, though. So we'll work that into that earlier prompt. And then we will see... Also, I don't know if I ever read this out before. Frost moons, natural satellites composed of ice and water. Frost moons are the most common celestial bodies that contain water. Their surfaces are hard to traverse due to their cold temperatures and geysers. Some frost moons have a subsurface ocean of liquid water. Now, for our actual encounter here, pardon the scrolling, snowfall. You walk through a frozen sierra. The high-speed winds and air pressure increase the difficulty of the climb. As you take a break to rest and breathe before continuing on your path, the ground beneath you begins to vibrate. An entire layer of snow precipitates from the side of the mountain, triggering a chain of ice falls that converge into a massive avalanche. Roll vigor. Success. You manage to evade and grab onto a tree, avoiding the snowfall. Failure. You are caught and crushed. You lose 7 health. Man. Have I played... Borrow trauma? No. As you can tell as I sound out the word. No. Funny how many guns the ship has for a game where we have used them once. Well, Alejandra, maybe the number of guns we have is why we haven't had to use them. Do you think of that? Maybe everybody's running scared. Big stick and all that. So we know that we can handle the loss of health. So that's okay. We could... use a hyperdrive to guarantee success, and then gain a hyperdrive back. In fact, we could have done that last time, too. Come to think of it. And that might be worth doing back-to-back. Is that cheating? Not really. That's just the rules. I guess the idea would be that if you take the chance, you could earn the hyperdrive for free. But I think I would have used it last time, because ship damage and health all get repaired for free when we get back. So whatever, we'll just roll it. Let's just roll it. Let's be brave. Let's try to stack up some hyperdrive. So we're doing what? Vigor, and I have a 1. Pearl has a 1 as well. And that's a failure. That's a big old failure. We're not having a good time out here exploring space. We're supposed to be out here finding loot. It's not happening. Not going well. Not really going well at all. PC-RPG pretty good. You think Pearl is jinxing us? Pearl, don't listen to her. She doesn't mean it. Yeah, how's that feel? How's that feel, Alejandra? See? I can do that too. This was a rough work mission, just gotta say. I mean, we put up some propaganda posters. We go install a radio thing on this old military base. Get crushed by snow. Have a bad landing. It's just like, dang. I will, though, say that since now we know everything's been resolved, we know we're going to get back to Gemini Light, and we're going to get our health filled up and our hull restored for free, and we got 8 fuel. So before we head off, we're going to grab another mission, but we're going to want to get some fuel and all that. And we also got to write a scene. I don't know about this scene. You know, it's kind of like your classic, like, exploration. Maybe we should, that means we should probably turn to the Oracle. Get some inspiration on how this goes. Let's just see what flows out of the old noggin, and we'll be back. All right, we're back. Let's see. Alejandra's polycule in her mind is now monogamous. Oh, half of them are. Okay. This is like the most interesting internal fan fiction of your brain. If they win, we're all canceled. Man. Do you think people can tell I've been off my meds for like a week? I don't know. I'm entertained. I'm very entertained. Oh, are you ready for another episode of Space Girlfriends? It ends cutely. They all do. Every now and then, you're reminded how much of this stuff, surviving, exploring, is work. Like real, challenging, actual work. Luckily, the travel's more fun than it used to be, no small part due to little stolen moments with Pearl. I'm still acting like a lovesick puppy while trying to keep up the tough captain routine. I'm not fooling anyone, not even Owo. We took a mission from Warg, and I have to wonder if they didn't throw us a pity operation. Hanging recruitment posters around the settlement? Really? How much more recruiting can you do from within a Warg settlement? Then, to top it off, they want us to head out to the outer ring and put up a radio antenna. Luckily, I've already been to that sector, so the navigating's easy. Makes for more stolen moments. But when we get there, the conditions are absolute ass. I put the Slipshot down like a junior pilot, and we have to spend some time looking over the hull for damage. Nothing that we're too worried about, being in mostly known space, but it's annoying, and we have some bumps and bruises to show for the poor landing. Pearl stays with the ship. I did roll that in the Oracle. I said, does she come with? And I got a no and. So. And to make matters worse, I lose comms with her when I head out. In the end, I get to this old military installation sticking out of a mountainside, and the doors are sealed shut. Now, did I have to mount the radio antenna on an existing structure up a dangerous mountainside? No, but it made a hell of a lot of sense. So, when I started heading back down to the ship and felt an avalanche triggering, I thought, okay, alright, so it's going to be like this. Trapped in an avalanche on a godforsaken, distant, total ass of a moon, and can't even hail my girlfriend on the comms. But I survive. Ancient dead gods of outer space, I survive. It's hours before I return to the ship. Pearl is freaking out. She has a suit on and is halfway across the Sierra when she finally sees my suit's tracker lights in the distance. About the same time, comms return. Cadence? She cries. Good God, Cadence, she shouts, and starts running toward me. Bouncing, really. Running is a hell of a thing in low grav, and she about takes me down with her momentum. I'm alright, I say. Just get me inside. I'm alright. I'm pretty beat to shit. Once Pearl's satisfied that I'm not going to croak right then and there, which takes her a hot minute, she comes up with a way to warm me up. It's not hot cocoa. I done gubbed them. I gub it to you. You know, Alejandra, if it weren't for you actively being in chat, this might not be as much space lesbian adventure as it is. So you own this, by the way. This is all on you. I would have had some other notion of like I should make this content accessible to everybody, but nope. Nope. It is what it is. And we already did all the mechanical hoo-ha, so we're back at Gemini Field. Lungs are almost back. Maybe by tomorrow morning. Maybe. Okay. Now, it occurred to me that what we're missing here is NPCs. So we haven't really had any NPC interactions since the bulldozer, really, with Flare and Lavender. This content is for me. I done claimed it for the T-lesbians. For us, by us, something like that. Let's see. So I never took the chance to detail out our CO, and I think now is the time to do that. To have another character to bounce off of, and see what else might shake out. We're probably going to pick up another mission. We also might want to consider going to the cybersphere. And the reason I might want to go to the cybersphere is because I might want us to go look for Flare. So let me think about the order I want to do these things in. first let's make our CO. So I'm going to go to the tables. Where is that one table? I always forget. Here we go. So we're going to roll some dice. I'm not taking that result this time. I'm just not. Okay. Don't be alarmed, but for the first time we have a man. Flair's a man as well, but not by dice. So, where do I want to track this stuff? I don't know. Let's give him a name. Let's give this guy a name. Everest. You almost die on a space mountain, and the next guy you meet is called Everest. I'm not gonna lie, I got yet another what do they call it in here? Androgynous result, and I was like, I just need no. I've got that for every single NPC so far. Let's see. Everest, he, him. Let's see. We already got the name. Let's do the what kind of profession he either has now or had before, being a CO with Ward. A natural 20 on a roll table. Politician. Ooh. Oh. Oh. Oh man, this kind of is making me. I might have to take inspiration from a character I recently played in a Fiasco game. This will be interesting. So either is or was a politician. I'm guessing since he's like a CO for missions for us, he's probably not currently a politician. Okay. His trait is selfish. I think that's what Lavender had as well. Lavender had the selfish trait. And let's give him a look. What does that even mean? Combat garments? Like, tell me more. What's the oh god for? Is the chat delay because I just said politician? I deal with politicians at work. Kind of. There is a world where I become a lobbyist, actually. Believe it or not. That's a possible world. I was in an academy program this last year, and we went up to the Capitol a couple times and met with some lobbyists, and I didn't really realize what that profession, I guess we want to call it, that entails. But I found out that they're kind of like lawyers in that they choose their clients. You're not just like, I'm a lobbyist and anybody can use me for whatever. It's like, no, you can actually stand for something and advocate for things and have principles and like say, these are the issues I want to lobby on. And that made it sound infinitely cooler. And then I was, talking to people about it, and they're like, yeah, there are like, for every one like crooked, evil, twisted lobbyist who's in it for the money, there's probably like 10 who are quietly doing like good work. And, there are some issues that I might be interested in having a say in lately. I guess our state legislature has introduced 2 anti-trans bills for this session. So that's cool. That's cool. Anyway. You're glad that's an alternate universe? What about the other alternate universe where I become a pastor? Because that was a roadway for me at one point too. There's a world in which I go into the military. I was really invested in that path for myself. Yeah, I never... did I ever consider it? I think I maybe did. I maybe did. I don't know. Anyway. As with all things, you can always be one of the good ones. Alright, what else do we want to know about this guy? Do I have other tables to work on? I could roll on the gold table. I haven't really done that for anybody else.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Let's do it. Let's give him a goal. There's a separate table for goal. You were going to be a pastor too? Yep. I don't think they'd want us now, Alejandra. I don't think they'd want us now. I mean, I'm up here preaching love and, like, all sorts of shit. Like, I'm pastoring through this channel. Kind of. Kind of. Goal. Acquire knowledge. Okay, that's boring. You're boring, Everest. I think that's what we got. Actually, we should be aligned with him then, because I think... didn't I roll that for Cadence? Yep. Oh, God. Kind of forgot that Cadence has a sociable tag. Have I been role-playing Cadence as very sociable? Whoops. Kind of forgot all about that aspect of her character. Oh, well. I don't anticipate us picking our own commanding officer up as crew, so I'm not going to roll like his little NPC requests and stuff. I'm not going to try to get affinity with him. I think I'm not feeling called to a specific scene with Everest right now, but it's good to have him documented so that when shit happens or when we have our next like crisis of faith about violence or whatever, he's who we'll go to and talk to about it. So that'll give us a little more to bounce off of. I do think, though, let's go into the cybersphere. I can't ever shut up, and my sexuality is no thank you, so Catholic priest seemed like a good choice. Well... well, there you go. Yeah, I was never there. I don't know what you guys are talking about. I never even scrolled back up to that. Well, you might not get social from Cadence, but how about social anxiety? That has social in it. Sociable, but in what way? The way that it makes her very anxious could be. Oh. All right, let's cyber it up. I'm going to say, though, we're going into the cybersphere partly because of that terrible experience on the Frost Moon. And Cadence is like, let's just, let's go plug into a computer for a while. The old switcheroo. All right. Cybersphere. I always played the cybersphere as you brought your crew with you, and it came up in the Discord the other day, and I think there were mixed feelings on that, but I don't know why you would go in alone if you have a crew, especially when there's dangerous shit in here. So Pearl's coming with. You're coming with, girl. Get plugged in. So let's play the little cybersphere mini game, and like we do, then we'll probably roll scene work after, or write scene work after the fact. And then at some point here, I think I'm going to take a little break, and then we'll be back again. So where do I have this? So we're not going to repeat maps, cybersphere maps. You know what? As soon as I said that, I was like, there's a joke in here somewhere. Do I say the line out loud, there's a joke in here somewhere, or do I just let it go? I opted to let it go. Okay? So. Okay, we got map number 4. And can you guys see this? Here, let me do the super zoom. Let's go all the way. Let's go all the way, they say. And so this is a symmetrical one, so it really doesn't matter where we come in. So we'll go here. Now, again, if anybody is picking this up without the context of the series, we did one cybersphere trip earlier, and we actually got a pretty good reward out of it. But this is, I want to show you guys the pages because they're beautiful. So this is the cybersphere page. It's just a facing page, and this is the entire system. This book is so good. Oh my god, it's so good. So you roll to determine which like network map you plug into, and then there's little rules about how you move through it, and there's a memory clock that counts down. And if you basically let the clock count down too far, then your mind gets fucked up and it's not good. So you do not want to stay in too long. Some of the results on the tables will increment your memory clock, which means that there's an element of like This is not fully in my control, and I hope I don't die. But there are encounters, and then there are matrix nodes, which are the loot, more or less. So for us, this is actually an interesting map. We might be able to clear 2 of them. Oh, hold on. My cats are fighting. I'm going to go yell at them. I'll be right back. Well, I don't know. Made a big ruckus outside, and then they must have taken it elsewhere. I've got 3 black cats, and sometimes they just get a stick up there. So yeah, this is what we're gonna do, and it's basically 2 D66 tables, depending on which node you go into. So how do I want to do this? I wish there was an easier way for me to switch my screens, but whatever, we'll deal with it. So let's go this way first, and we'll see what we find. A 16 result. Yeah, I can't, it's too small for me to read on there, so I gotta read it here. I'll just have to keep tabbing around. Okay, so we haven't encountered a security automaton bot who thinks we are a virus. I believe that's an actual encounter. Oh, also, quickly, before I forget, we got 3 experience from that last mission, and we got to go up in warg status by 1. So, you don't need to see that right now, but I've changed it. So, an automaton bot, eh? We can try and de-escalate this, or we can try and fight it. And it would be nice to fight it and get some loot, honestly. All right, we're back on the combat tracker. And you know, actually, before we do this combat, I think now I'm going to take a break. So we're going to go over to the break screen, and I'll be back in just a little bit, and then we'll fight a robot in the cybersphere. See you soon. I'm back from break. Howdy, Lance. Welcome in. Good to see you here. Good to see you. Gosh, chat. You can't say get plugged in, girl, to your lesbian girlfriend with me in the chat. Listen, the story is what the story is, okay? We're going to the cybersphere. We're in the cybersphere. It is what it is. Back to your dishes. Why didn't you finish them before, Alejandro? Are you letting yourself get distracted by the stream? You wouldn't do that, would you? Anyway, good to see you, Lance. Good to see you here. Good to see you. We're back, and I got to turn the music back on. And we're in the cybersphere fighting cyber things. You know what I should really do? I should come up with a cybersphere map that goes on this side of the screen when we do this. That would be better. But that's not a today thing. That's a next Friday thing. When I decide to do that. Okay, so the question here, we are facing off against a security automaton bot who thinks we are a virus. It thinks we are a virus. Is there really anything we can do to try and convince this thing that we're not a virus? I would assume no. Even if it seems like I'm being murder hobo-y, they're starting it. I want to find, though, there's a section that I didn't refer to earlier somewhere for the stats, because there are two kind of representations of the stats. One of them is just in general, and then the other one is specifically for like social encounters. And here we go, here it is. Yeah, so there's a difference in how the stats are represented. In the social stats section, it says vigor is for authority, bravery, intimidation. Grace is for subterfuge, street smarts, and charm. Mind is for philosophy, diplomacy, ideology. Tech is for logic, rhetoric, debate. So we could try and do a tech roll to try and like logically prove to this thing that we're not a virus. And I think, I don't know exactly how this works, but I think you're able to, at your own discretion, still claim the rewards from defeating the encounter, even if you bypass it through a different mean. Kind of seems a little cheap. So I just kind of have to vibe it out here for a second. You know what we could do is we could do the Oracle to see if this is even possible first. And if it's not, we'll go into combat. And if it is, we'll try this. And if it fails, we'll still go into combat. That's probably how I'm going to do it. So, all right, Oracle it is. First, before we resolve it, I'm going to get the vibe check from the Oracle, which is a 15. Let's go check it out. Oracle, Oracle, Oracle. Why can't I find it? There it is. So 15 gives me corruption as a theme word here. Has the security bot been corrupted? I kind of feel like it has, and that might be why it's thinking that we're a virus. New, fun Oracle question. Has it been corrupted intentionally? I mean, corruption implies intention, doesn't it? No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. Let's ask. No, it is not intentionally, and... Okay, this is going to be some interesting world building we're falling into here. This is like a B-plot that's developing here, which is kind of cool. Let me jot this down. So we're basically fighting. Well, no, I haven't resolved that yet, so maybe not, maybe not. So it's corrupted, not intentionally, and then there's an and in the mix. Exactly. Exactly. Oh, man, I can't imagine. when I had my internship at Paizo, one of our tasks was they were publishing a line of pulp novels, like old like sci-fi, yellow paged books, and they had just started using new like character scanning technology, but it would mess up all the time. So we would get the digital text of the book, and then us interns, we would have to basically read through this book from like start to finish and fix all of the little characters that got messed up, and fix the where an L turned into a 1 or 1 turned into an L, or a thing didn't know what it was, so we just put this symbol here. We had to do that whole thing, and I swear I worked on this book straight for like 6 hours. And they were using Macintosh, and I wasn't familiar with Mac as much, and so I was anxious about like making sure things saved correctly and everything like that. And so I didn't work on the copy that was on the share drive. I brought a local copy over to my machine, and it sounded like a great idea. And I worked on it for like 6 hours straight. And I finally went to save it and close it. And I went to save it, and it came up with a prompt, and it said like, I don't know how it was worded, but however it was worded from the Mac did not make sense to my Windows brain. And it was asking me like, do you want to overwrite? And I was like, well, crap, now I don't remember which file I had open. Did I have the share drive file open or the non-share drive file open? And either way, the way it was worded, I basically had a 50-50 shot of whether I was going to overwrite my last 6 hours of work or not. And I chose wrong. And I was just like, I just hung my head. And I got up from my computer, and I walked around the corner to the editor's pit. And I was like, hey guys, so I'm here for like another 2 hours. Do you have anything else I can edit? Just anything else, even if it's already been done. Do you have something I could do a proof pass on? Like, please, I cannot look at this document again. I'll fix it next time I'm in, and I'll redo this all. So I got to read that novel like twice, and it was a cool novel. So I was like, that was neat. I don't know who Hank is. I don't know your references. But yeah, I messed up. And I didn't corrupt the file. I just didn't know what I was doing. And I erased all my work. It was great. So we have a non-intentional corruption. But the Oracle gave me an and. So what I'm actually going to reason out here is that there is an emergent corrupting force in the cybersphere right now that is bubbling behind the scenes here. And that might be intentionally deployed by Medusa, or maybe not, or maybe Medusa is trying to utilize it for their own goals. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not cultured enough to know any Breaking Bad stuff. Except for every now and then, I'll get recommended a scene on YouTube, and I'll watch it because I hear about it, and I'm like, oh, I'll watch this scene. And then my YouTube feed becomes all Breaking Bad for like a week, and I have to like intentionally abstain to get the algorithm to stop recommending me Breaking Bad videos. It's a very, very delicate balance. So we're not going to do anything with this emergent corrupting force in the background right now, because we're only seeing the fringe of it. But now we're going to see if this security bot can be uncorrupted by us, and if not, we go into blows. I'm going to give us a... should I give us a -1? Just for the likelihood. Because I think it's unlikely we'll be able to bypass this. So I'm going to do a -1, which means at best we could get a 5. So basically we have a 32% chance instead of a 50% chance. Yeah, they were. Yeah, they were. And this might be a part of it. So it's pretty exciting. Pretty cool. Okay. Yes, but. So we can we can try to overcome this thing with like computer logic. And I feel like that should be a Pearl thing. But it's a yes but. So there needs to be a cost associated with it. So probably I'll have to spend some energy. Or increment the memory clock. It's kind of up to me. We'll go energy. Just that seems like more of a normal resource to tack on. So I want to spend energy for the attempt or only if it's successful? Probably only if it's successful. Is she? I don't know my own character. She's like the mental, like neural hack, psionic kind of stuff. When I think of like the physical machinery, yeah. So she's high in the mind stat, and she's decent in tech. But Pearl is the inverse. Pearl's actually better at the actual tech. Which in the social rules here, the tech is where the logic is coming in, where I'm interpreting that to be computer logic. So it's gonna be a tech roll. Post-tech roll against the bot, and then we'll see if we're going to end up having to fight this thing anyway. Let me find it in the enemy database. Is it in here? Here we go, automaton bot. It has a 2 tech. Oh, it only has 8 HP. Oh, but 5 armor. Holy Christ. Alright, I kind of don't want to fight this thing. Did I bump that? I did bump that. I was going to say, that's not what it looked like when I touched it. So, this is a result that Hippo will enjoy when they watch the VOD. Pearl rolled a 3. The automaton bot rolled a 3. And we have 1 more mind than it, so we are able to do this. I'm going to deduct 1 energy from my D4, which I just made up on the spot. That's not actually mechanical, but I was just factoring that into the yes, we can try this but element of it. So we did it, and we're gonna get 1 experience point, and we're gonna get some loot. No, we probably shouldn't get loot. We won't take loot. We'll just take experience. And that is how you can adjudicate not doing a fight in Astroprisma. You just kind of use the tools that are available to you. Okay. Narrowly escaped some combat danger there, which you'll love to see. All right. So we're back to our map 4. We're going to go down to this cell here, and we're going to roll D66 again to see what we encounter. That's a high number. That's scary. 51. You see a hologram clip of your future death. I mean, okay. Can't give me prompts like that, game. God. Time for some angst. Time for some angst. This was one of the things I loved about Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time, is that the little save spots in the game would actually give you visions of you dying to things, and it was mechanical in the sense that it prepared you, the player, for things you hadn't seen yet and what not to do. But I also really appreciated how it kind of created this diegetic, like, it's probably not the appropriate word to use here, but this like sense of dread that I got from trying to put myself in the point of view of the main character, seeing their death over and over again and what that would do to them psychologically, even though they know they can rewind time and save themselves. Like, I just figured that would probably really fuck with them, and I thought that was fascinating. All right, so let me document that we did overcome this. Okay, I'm writing the prompt there, and then I'm going to forge ahead because it might thematically relate to other things that are coming up. So we'll probably scoop up this whole cyber excursion into one big, long scene. Ludonarrative anxiety. That sounds cool. I have to look up ludonarrative though. I think you've already used that phrase with me before, and I was like, what does it mean? Clearly did not learn my lesson. All right, our next encounter is the website of a mass consumption online marketplace. Dat capitalism, though. Gotta have it. At least we're not, like, running into danger and things ticking our clock up. Well, the good news is we've made it now to a matrix node. So this should not be dangerous at all. It should be rewards. Loot. Let's get it. 32, which is 3 power gen or 3 shield stim. We get to choose our loot. I know shield stim is probably not that helpful to us. Power gen removes silence. Don't we still have a power gen, or did we sell it? We already have a power gen, so let's take 3 shield stim. Because we did just sell one of those. And we'll probably sell some of these too. It's not a huge loot reward that we got there. Not nearly. Okay. We are actually going to try... We're going to be able to get both matrix nodes out of here. So that's going to be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we should be fine. We should be fine. We're being a little risky here. Are we being too risky? We don't have a net link, which drops our clock. Let's do the math. There are results on this table that will increment our clock by 4. And there are results on this table that will increment our clock by 1. It looks like is the worst. So at worst we're adding 5. And if we get that scenario, if we get a +4 right now, this will go to 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and we're still out fine. So we might, if we get a +4 here, we might just skip this other reward node. If we don't, then we're probably safe to go for it. So I say let's go for it. Let's try and get them both. Famous last words. Okay. Rolling next. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, that's not bad at all. We got a 64, which is a ghost server outside of Net Police reach. That's narratively fun. It also gives our clock -1. So... that's going to be nice for us. Cool. Sorry, I know this is not like the most engaging. I'm just rolling dice and saying stuff. So our 4 gave us the result of 32. This will be kind of an interesting one to write up. This might be a scene that this whole trip, I might write this up after the stream. Or first thing next stream. I don't know though. We usually go like 2.5, 3 hours on these. It'll be interesting to stitch this narrative together. Then we're gonna come back up through here. Oops, that's not a date. I don't want you to do this. So this is gonna be our 5th clock, and then this will be your 6th, and we are pretty much safe. I'm not trying to say it's not engaging because chat's not active. I know there's not many people here right now. I'm just saying I don't think it's probably that engaging for me to be like, and then this, and then this, and then I'll take a note and whatever. Is what it is. Do you know what I just realized? We just ran into a node that said it was a what? A ghost server outside of Net Police reach? I think we just met Flare. So we encountered that randomly through the tables, but we also have Flare's data chip. Remember where he was like, come visit me sometime. So that, I'm going to have to work that into the scene. That's going to be really interesting. And we can also tell him that we found a research facility to take him to. That ISF one that we fought some guards and killed one. Maybe that's what we'll try and cap the stream with. Because we'll talk to him here. We'll figure out where he physically is in space. We can go pick him up. We can take him there. And see what his other... I don't remember what his other NPC request was. But we might... We're one step closer to getting Flare on the team. If we want him. What's that dynamic going to be like? What indeed? He's a flirt. We know that. Cool. I like that idea. Because I was kind of forgot that we were here looking for Flare, partly. Maybe it's not Flare's server, but it's one that he uses to meet up with people. So when I cast this whole scene, I'll probably say that we go into the cybersphere, we reach out to him, connect with him, and he's like, hey, yeah, go over here. And then everything else happened on the way. Then we finally get there, have a scene with Flare, and then proceed to get out of here. That's what we'll do. 6 is going to be our last one. Or is that what I just rolled? I'm so confused. That is what I just rolled, isn't it? It is. Yes. Okay. And the reason I got confused is because I doubled up. So this is the 5th. Yeah. Okay. So that is the last thing. And then we get out of here. No? I'm so confused. What did I do? Number 3 was... What have I done? I've really turned myself around. Help. Number 1 was the security drone. Number 2 was the hologram of our own death. Number 3... Oh, I didn't log... Okay, I didn't log our loot. That's what happened here. I just got these flipped around. That's all that happened. Okay, wow. I got my brain really twisted there. So then 4 was this. So this is our 6th result. And actually somewhere in between here, we have another loot reward that we forgot to roll. Right? Or should the 64 beat? No. Too bad chat has unmedicated ADHD right now and is just as confused as to what happened. We're going to resolve it. We're going to resolve it by backfilling the reward right now. 52. No, not 52. 25. 2 EMP grenades or 2 taser shells. Man, this is not great loot that we're getting here. That's okay. It's kind of free. I mean, we didn't really spend anything to come in here and get it. And we get to talk to Flare. That's what the real prize is, the friends we make along the way, as we all know. So let's see, this was, we got 3 shield stem, and here we are getting... What's the taser shell do? Which one do I prefer? That's the wrong table. Taser shell. Okay, that makes enemies shocked for tech turns. That is really, 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 really good for us. Because we keep running up against these stupid ISF soldiers that have their frickin' armor, and then OO can't do passive damage to them. So if we are in that situation again, Pearl can have the taser shells rather than the flash rounds. Much better. How many do I get? I get 2 of them. And those are going to go straight into her inventory. And we will take the flash rounds back for ourselves and probably sell them. Nice. We got new scenes and new dawn going on. New scenes and new dawn. So she can shock them for 3 turns, and then we can shoot them. Not bad, not bad. And let's just assume we're going to sell these, because we need the money. We're here for the money. Yeah, Cadence is never going to be starved for side actions because she's going to be able to command OO. So let's just get rid of them. We need the money. So that's going to give us 30 back, and then we're going to sell 2 of these for another 10? No, 20. I can't do math right now. The stream is coming to its absolute collapse as my brain is shutting down. New Dawn, the sequel to the hit book Twilight. Somehow I had forgotten that was the name of the second book of that series. So no. No, you know better. You know what it is. Oh God, I'm like really struggling. Okay, you buy them for 20, you sell them for 10. We sold 3 of those, that's 30. And then those are 20, so we get 50 more serum. Oh. That was the hardest math I've ever done in my life. Okay, gosh. I might wrap it up, honestly, because that whole cyber journey is like, there's a lot there, and I do kind of want to craft it. So I might do it after stream, and we might pick up with it next stream. So let's do what we always do, which is do all the bookkeeping and resolve everything. Which I've already started by selling stuff. Let's refuel our ship. Hold on, sorry. Everything's all over the place. Hippo, come save us. How's Hippo gonna save us? What do you mean? I don't know what you mean. 12 by 3 is 36 fuel. 36 serum we need to spend on fuel. My God, space is expensive. Oh, because of the math? Really? Is that why? Because of the math? If Hippo weren't such a good friend, I would feel offended. But Hippo is a beautiful soul. We love Hippo. I love this song so much. It's so good. Do we want to buy a new ability for ourselves, too? What is our 3rd ability? Oh, we also have to decide if we're selling those guns. We have so many guns on our ship. It's ridiculous. All right, let's take a look here. We are the gunner, so we could buy... Okay, we can buy an upgrade for missiles. Yeah, Hippo's a smarty. Hippo's a software guy. Very sharp. Oh, I didn't write down the module here. Gotta do that. Bookkeeping, everybody's favorite part of the stream. I like it. So, y'all can just deal. Yeah, these are particle cannons. They're not missiles. So let's do a statistical analysis of our ship here. Oh lord, formatting is not my friend right now. I try to lay these out the exact same way that they are in the book because I like it. This is the weapon that I made a really truly degenerate spaceship with in one of my playthroughs, and it was a thing of beauty. So, here's our ship. On a 1, we have nothing. On a 2, we have nothing. On a 3, we could do multi-lasers or particle cannons. On a 4, we could do shields, multi-lasers, or particle cannons. 5, any of the 3. 6, shield generator. And 1 of our dice we can use to berserk turrets on any turn. And what do we have for turrets? Turrets restore 3 energy to all allies every time they destroy an enemy shield this turn. Which would matter more if we had crew abilities that used energy. Which maybe we'll have later. We don't have any missiles, so there's really no reason to buy that upgrade for us. But what is Pearl's other upgrade that she can have? We'll buy that for her. What is she again? Mechanic. Yeah, why not? Let's buy it. It's going to be worth it. So she will have all of her abilities maxed out. Not what I wanted. This is called oil change. So we can spend 20 scraps now to reroll all action dice, which means we can fish for what we want. If we just get a really bad roll for some reason. And then if we blow up the ship, she can spend 2 energy to get 25 scraps back, so it kind of refunds itself. We have 54 serum left. It's just not a lot. What is she holding? So she's got taser shells to shock enemies. We love that. Energy cells to rebuild energy. We love that because the party shares energy. And health packs to save us from dying. Great. I don't think she needs to hold a weapon mod on top of that. Do we want to buy a weapon mod? And can we even afford one? Let's see. I know at one point we were looking at the laser accelerator for the gravity rifle. But that's too expensive for our blood. God, these are all really expensive. Yeah, no, we can't afford any of this. Would be shocking. Would be shocking. Are we talking about the taser shell? We must be. I don't know. We just don't have a lot of money. Do we sell a ship module? And if so, why? Like, what would we buy with it even if we did? Do we buy cybertech for ourselves? Let's look at... I'll bring up the cybertech. Take a look at that. Cyber technology. If I can remember where it is. Here. Okay, so we have titanium bones from Frontera Corp. Also, we just spent experience points, so we don't have that many options. You could buy Chrome Fist, which is an ability. Deal damage equal to your armor times vigor. This counts as a melee weapon attack. 6 energy, and it's a main. No. This is taking up way too many of our resources that we're already putting towards OO. We're not selling OO, because I would lose subscribers if I sold OO. Scanner Eye gives us a permanent +1 tech, which could be nice. Yes, because OO runs off of tech. So this would increase OO's abilities. That's what we should be looking at, potentially. Once per encounter, you spend 2 energy to avoid rolling mind when casting a hack. So you do that, you do Parasite, you auto-succeed, and then they're breached, and then you just wail on them. This is incredible for us. It's almost like reading the book. Gives you good ideas. The other one that gives us +1 tech is Detox System, double the stat bonus from Narcobiotics, which we don't... We can go buy the Corsair settlements and buy Narcobiotics. But we're broke as shit, so like we don't have money to buy that anyway. This is always a fun one too. Code Processor. +1 mind. The first hack you cast during your first combat turn costs 0 energy. So we could double up on this. We could get Code Processor and Scanner Eye at some point. And then we would just be wrecking fools. But at that point, it's like... Are we even using OO? Really? I guess you deploy him with the side action. No, you deploy him... I keep forgetting this. Do you deploy him with the side action or the main action? Drones. Spend a main action to deploy, yeah. So we do have kind of a lot of competition for our main actions. But it depends on what we're fighting, you know. Look at this one. Escaping combat now only costs a side action. Roll the player die twice and keep the best result. That's a very good, like, keep Pearl and Cadence alive one. But we're not really doing anything with Grace. We don't want to spread out that much. This Scanner Eye is pretty killer, though. Because it helps us with OO and it helps us cast hacks. Having a lot of mind is handy, though. I mean, if we go... What are we doing here, anyway? Hack Javelin is D12 plus mind. Breach enemies take double. Parasite breaches them 4 mind turns, but we're already at 3. Combat shouldn't be going past 3 turns. The Pearl Escape, but also known as the Pearl Clutch. Nice. Nice. We really don't need that hack Kraken. It's kind of trash. Well, if we want this, we're going to have to sell some stuff, and I think we were talking about possibly selling some modules. We have a thing that makes lasers do overheat. I think you have to spend an action die to do that, though. I mean, we could sell our shield generator. That just gives us a 6 as our dead die, but if we get a 6, we're going to want to throw it in Berserk turrets anyway. What are these things worth? Shield generator is only worth... Yikes. 35 if I sell it. not even enough. I kind of think we sell the particle cannons. We just don't need that much weaponry. We already have the multi-lasers and the turrets. Bypass shields. Okay, what else am I not looking at as far as money? Do we have anything in the cargo hold? No. All this stuff is just worth like chip money. I'd have to sell everything I'm holding to get up to it. Unless I sell this mod. Or sell the gravity rifle. But that's a good point. If I am going to get this... If I'm going to get this cybertech, pay 2 energy to avoid rolling mind when casting a hack, I'm not shooting guns anymore at that point. Like, I'm just not. I'm going to deploy OWO, or not. Then I'm going to pay 2 energy. I'm going to instantly hack Parasite. If they have damaged me that round, I'm going to heal. And then from then on, it's just Pound Town with Javelin. I really just don't need these weapons. Even though I spent money on them. There's a part of me, too, that wants to give this malware injection to Pearl, because if she can breach somebody for me before my turn comes back around, that would actually be really nice. We can sell our shield generator, she said, before getting slapped by her mechanic. But she has abilities to repair the ship, so it's fine, right? It's fine. What if an enemy is specifically weak to revolver rounds? She doesn't have a revolver. She has a gamma gun, which you could see if I change the screen. Is there a better weapon for her to have? We might just do a whole weapon reconfig here. Is there a better weapon for her to have if she has the malware thing? Let's look. So she's high in tech. But if we want her to be doing malware injection decently often, we want her to have a D6 weapon. Where even is that? Oh, right here. 1 or 2 base damage. Is there a D6 in Carbon Dagger? But she has a 0 grace, so that doesn't do anything. I mean, it's fine. At least, like, the gamma gun is a D8. So she still has a 25% chance of breaching somebody just for free. It's just there's so much competition for her side actions. We need another crew. We need Flare. Maybe I should wait to figure out if we bring Flare on the team before I do any and all of this entire team rebuild. Maybe that's the that's the takeaway here. Resolve the damn scene that you rolled up, London, and then worry about... okay, let's look at Flare real quick. What did he want? What did he want? No, I love this. Non-binary bounty hunter / VR gamer / flirt. You gotta survive, right? You didn't have to see the crunchy side of me until I had a lesbian girlfriend to protect. It brings it out in me. Alright, so Flare wants transport to a research station. Fine. Do we think we got an affinity with Flare for the scene we already had with him? Let me reread the affinity rules. I don't want to like totally cheese this. Except I do, but that's between us. Oh my god. Why didn't I think of this before? Pearl could be in charge of OO. Pearl has a higher tech stat already. Pearl could be the one deploying OO, and I could be the one wrecking shit with my hacks. That's what we need to do. I think I'm going to do this thinking off screen, or off stream, but I think that's what we're going to do. So that's going to totally change everything. OO could be Pearl's bodyguard. I love that. I love that. OO can never hug her, though, because OO doesn't have arms. I had this image of, like, OO protecting her, right? I'm like, nope. I've got no arms. Okay, that opens up a lot of possibilities. And it changes what I would or wouldn't buy for Cybertech as well, so that's huge. That's huge. Anyway, that's not why I was... It's not why I was reading this page in the rules, but all of a sudden I was like, wait. She can have OO. Because crew members cannot have Cybertech, so it makes sense. What? That he doesn't have arms? Do we need to unlock arms? Do we need to have a side quest to get OO some arms? Oh my god, that's so good. You're right. You're so right. What was I in here looking for? The affinity rules. I'm losing it. Let me try and do the search over here. There's 12 mentions of affinity. Oh, I was on that page and I just plain overlooked it. Okay. Okay. To recruit them into your crew, you will need to gain their trust by accumulating affinity points with them. After reaching 3, you can choose to recruit them as a crew member. You gain 1 affinity point every time you help a character or complete a request for them. Did we help Flare with anything? We kind of didn't. As much as I want to say we start with 1 affinity, we just don't have it. So we might, when I write up the scene, figure out what else we can help him with. In the meantime, we do know that we can help transfer him to the research station. That was his recent ask, so we can do that. And then we'll just have to see what else comes of it. So we might not get Flare on the crew anytime super soon, but we'll be making some progress towards it. Okay. Side quest time. Yeah. Yep. I wonder how Flare feels about Warg. Because Flare's not officially Corsair. He's just a bounty hunter. That was on a Corsair ship. So. Okay. We got our marching orders. I need to write some notes to myself so I don't forget. So. I guess really all I need to write to myself is don't forget to rebuild the whole team. And start helping Flare. Maybe have a scene with Everest. I don't know. I think that's going to do it for us, though. Today, on Astroprisma. My brain's gone. This game melts my brain sometimes. And we didn't have at least an emotionally crushing scene that made me cry when I read it back to you, so that's good, right? There's definitely lots of character-on-character action going on. in the subtext and sometimes the foreground text. But it was fun, as always. We love Astroprisma. We are... I just checked. I was like, how many additional hexes did we get on today's stream? The answer is 1. So we started with 12 hexes to explore, and now we have 11 hexes to explore. Yeah. Thank you. It was fun. It was fun. Just goes to show that the game, shows up in different ways at different times. Going into the cybersphere naturally means we're making less progress on the map itself, but that's okay. Because I'm trying to think about letting Hime know when I think we might wrap this up. And so we're probably still at least 4, maybe 5 streams away from wrapping up. We will take another... excuse me. We will take another Warga mission. In fact, maybe let's do that, because then I can let that cook in my subconscious. Let's line out another mission to have, so that between running Flare around and whatever else, we'll know kind of what we need to do next time. So let's do that. That's a 9. I gotta write this down somewhere. And a 10. And a 6. And a 8. I'm not changing the screens on you, though. I'm just gonna have to deal with looking at my face. It's a 9. I'm just gonna read this out to you as well. See what we're gonna get ourselves into. So, when we play next, our mission: attack the base of a renowned mercenary group which has been hired to fight against us. Eliminate 2 mercenaries. That's going to be fun depending on what Flare knows about any of that. He might be like, oh yeah, those guys are assholes. Or he might be like, those are my brothers. It's going to be at a settlement. Jeez. Okay, that's got to be the Corsair settlement. And then we can't get into a Medusa settlement. So it can't be. I mean, they could be Medusa mercenaries. Oh, you're saying Medusa hired them? Maybe. That'll be fun to figure out. And what have we got for complication? Will be 2 android synths are agitated by your presence and aim their weapons at you. They ask you to reveal your mission or be shot. Oh, whoa. This escalated very quickly. We might not actually take on this mission until we get Flare on the team. God damn. You think Medusa hired him? Well, we might roll for it. We might. It would make sense. My makeup does look really good today. Now that I'm back on the full screen. Have to say. And our reward is going to be glaive lasers, which are awesome. And we don't have any space on our ship for them. But they are a tier 3 weapon module. And what do? I've had these before. Glaive lasers. They are an X weapon. Deal X damage ignoring shields. Can only be used once per turn. That's better than the Berserk turrets for my money. Because they're lasers as well. Which means that they can inflict overheat. De-escalation is not in the vocabulary. Time will tell. Time will tell. We've got some interesting things to look forward to. Next session is going to be hot. Okay, so that actually helps me because now I know kind of what to title the next episode. That's going to be spicy, and it's not going to lend itself to exploring new hexes. Letting the hair down really suits you. Yeah. I get to, it's fun. I get to play with all sorts of things. I like doing the hair up when I'm doing the high neck tanks. Kind of like doing the hair down when I'm in the dress. So it is what it is. I kind of decided right before. I decide based on how my hair is cooperating with me at a given time. So All right. I spent like, what, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, maybe longer, just doing nothing. But next episode should be a lot of fun. So, I start closing windows out so I can even see what I'm doing with my life. Close that. I can close this, right? Yeah, I don't need that anymore. And then we got to go see what our friends are doing. I think Cheeky's playing Persona 4 over on Twitch. Because we like to raid out to our friends. Oh, there's some big thing going on for a friend of a friend's birthday deal. But we'll go to our buds over here. Outfit based on hair mood is a classic. Yeah. Yep. Making movie references, I don't know. Again, Leandro, I don't watch things. You should know this. So, let's go say hi to Cheeky if you're so inclined. If you just want to pop in and say hi to her and then peace out with the rest of your day, that's cool as well. If you're watching this later, do all the stream things. It's going to be horrible grade. That's fine. Do all the things, the liking, the subscribing, all that stuff. Again, I kind of actually gave the channel a proper intro this time, so I don't need to do it at the end. But, you know, it's London Station. It's me and my buds. And come join us because we're a good time. I think that'll do it. With that said, have a great rest of your, what day is it, Saturday? Have a great rest of your Saturday, and we'll catch you next time on London Station. Peace.